Hey, new scientists, Dr. Chernoff here, and welcome back to another edition of Statistics for the New Social Scientist. Today we're going to talk about categorical measures of association and how you can calculate them using SPSS. Now, when it comes to categorical association, there are two major questions that we're interested in. One, are the variables correlated? And two, what is the strength and direction of that relationship? So to conduct a chi-square test of independence, we open up SPSS. We go up to Analyze, we then go down to Descriptives, and then we go down to Crosstabs. From this list of variables to the left, I then scroll down until I find an independent variable that I'm interested in. So here I'm going to pick on the variable prior victimization. So I'll click on this variable, and then I'll click on the top right-facing arrow. I then scroll around until I find a dependent variable that I'm interested in. So here, I'll pick on safety feeling around campus after dark. I'll then click on this right-facing middle arrow. Now to calculate statistics for these two variables, click on the Statistics button. So if we want to conduct a chi-square test of independence for these two categorical variables, then we check the box next to the words chi-square. Both of these variables have been nominal, then I can measure the strength of the relationship using one of these statistics under the nominal section. However, since both of these variables are technically ordinal, then I can pick one of the options under the ordinal section. So here I'll check the box next to the word gamma. I'll then click Continue, and then I'll click OK. So SPSS gives us a cross tabulation between the relationship between prior victimization and safety feeling surrounding areas after dark. It also gives us our chi-square test of independence table. So here we have a table with statistics for conducting a chi-square test of independence. So here we focus on this top row only, which is the Pearson chi-square. We get our chi-square test statistic as well as our p-value. Now remember, we're conducting a chi-square test of independence for two categorical variables. The test is always an upper tail test. So here, SPSS gives us something called an asymptotic two-sided significance p-value. However, this p-value is actually upper tail p-value. So the p-value given by SPSS is correct. Now, when conducting a chi-square test of independence, we make one very important assumption. So this assumption is that our sample size is large enough. So our sample size is considered large enough when the expected frequencies in each of the cells of our cross tabulation are greater than 5. So to check this assumption, we look at the text down at the bottom underneath this chi-square tests table. Here we have a message saying that 4 cells have an expected count less than 5. This tells us that our sample size is not large enough. This tells us that we cannot use these statistics in this table to make valid inference about the relationship between these two variables in the population. So let's imagine for a second that our test of independence was statistically significant. If this is the case, then we want to assess the strength of the relationship, and when we're talking about two ordinal variables, the direction of the relationship. So here I've calculated this gamma coefficient, and we can see that it came out to be negative 0.034. Two ordinal variables, and we have this negative gamma value. This tells us that there's a negative relationship between prior victimization and fear of crime around campus and the surrounding areas after dark. We can also use this statistic to assess the strength of the relationship between these two categorical variables. So here the gamma coefficient equals 0.034. Now the smaller this value is, so the closer to 0, the weaker the relationship. The larger the value is, so closer to 1 or negative 1, the stronger the relationship. So here I have this table, and this table shows you ways to kind of take those gamma values and break them down into assessments of weak, moderate, and strong. So looking at this value here, it equals 0.034. 0.034 is between 0 and 0.29. This would let us know that at best, we have a weak relationship between prior victimization and fear of crime in the surrounding areas around campus. And that's it. That's how you can use SPSS to assess whether or not there's a relationship between two categorical variables within a population, as well as use SPSS to assess the strength and direction of that relationship. The rest of the assignment is now up to you.